Hello YouTube watchers, or whatever you are. There is probably some term for you, I'm not sure what it is. Welcome to another pay-per-view review from me, Ashley, and this time it's time to talk TNA, and time to talk Slammiversary, and probably one of the best pay-per-views TNA has put on in quite a while. And yes, this is about 16 months after the debacle of Victory Road 2011. What a turnaround, to be quite honest. We started off with the opening match, which was originally supposed to be Austin Aries versus Samoa Joe. Then got, thanks to Hogan, changed into a title match to go old school, brother. Or something like that. And, my god, they put on a clinic. Went on for about 15 to 20 minutes, and some of the bits, I can't really describe it. Watch it if you can, somewhere. You know, catch the replay, catch the highlights of it, because there'll probably be highlights somewhere out there. If you're in the UK, you can certainly catch it when they broadcast it this coming Wednesday. Oh my word. It's worth taping. I'm thinking of taping it because it was that good a match. Finish with a brain buster from Aries for him to retain the title. A nice little fist bump of acknowledgement of we had a damn good match, and they did. It's probably one of the best matches TNA's put on. Certainly a contender for TNA's best match of the year, if they do those lists anymore. I don't know. Anyway, next up we had a match between Kid Cash and Hernandez, which had no build-up, yet was actually a pretty good match, I will say it. Good work between the two, some pretty nice spots as well. Finish come with Hernandez doing a splash with Kofi Kingston-like airtime onto Kid Cash to get the win, which is, as I say, nice little match. Next up we have the tag team match with the Robbies, that's Robbie and Robbie T by the way, taking on Devon, I get them mixed up, and Garrett Bischoff. This was an okay match, probably one of the weakest, but that wasn't saying a lot because it was still a pretty good match. It eventually came with Devon getting the spine buster on Robbie E, got the pin and won it for the team. And then they did some weird ass dance. Key point to note, Madison Rayne was on stage watching on, looking over. The question is, which one of the four was she looking at? Was it Devon? Was it the most likely Garrett or Robbie T? Or was it Robbie E? If so, the situation might be rivaled for people that he's definitely not worth getting. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks with Impact. Next up, interestingly, midway through, we had the triple threat match for the number one contendership for the TNA title to be fought on Impact this coming Thursday. So basically, who gets to challenge the champion on live TV in 5 days? Which was Anderson versus RVD versus Hardy. Good little match between the two. I think it's Hardy with a frog splash, or RVD with a frog splash on Hardy, which I think Hardy was out the ring anyway, and Anderson got the flatliner with RVD, and Mr. Anderson goes to Thursday as the challenger. It's for the Impact Wrestling TNA World Title, or whatever you want to call it. But still a very good little match between the three of them, I will say that. Then the open challenge match. Crimson comes out. You know, I don't mind who my opponent is, just they're going to get beaten. I'm just waiting. I was waiting there for about 30-40 seconds. And then cue long necks and rednecks. Yes, James Storm returns. In my opinion, just a little too early. If he debuted at Destination, if he came back at something like Destination X in July or whatever it is in August, I'd have been more happy, really. But the way this does it is James Storm gets the last call, ends the streak finally, so Crimson can stop banging on about it. 470 days apparently it was. And Storm comes in, starts to build the momentum to, I'm guessing, his title reign starting at Bound for Glory. If they do it earlier, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Just do it from the one that makes sense, the biggest pay-per-view that you arguably have. Okay, that might be Slammiversary, but it's also Bound for Glory. Or something. I don't know. But then Dixie Carter comes out, totally ignoring all storyline, really, with the whole Daniels, AJ, Surge, love triangle, Kazarian thing. I don't know. Just I don't like the storyline, but we'll get to the match that evolved from it in a minute. But we have the Hall of Fame induction, well, full Hall of Fame announcement, and it's Sting, which is well deserved, but I just think there's other people like Jeff Jarrett, like Raven, that should be there, I think, before, because it was that kind of stuff that laid the foundation for what happened in TNA over the years to come. My other thing is just saying TNA have done it just so that they can say he was in our Hall of Fame before WWE had him in theirs.
Yeah.
Which, you know, isn't a good thing to say, but he deserves to be in there, certainly. It's just the timing of it, because, well, I don't want to knock it, but that's what I guess I'm doing, but I'm pleased to see him acknowledged by somebody anyway, so full credit for that. Next up, we had the Knockouts title match between Gail Kim and Brooke Tessmacher, or Miss Tessmacher as she's now having to be referred to, because there's only one Brooke, and that's Hogan. Seriously? You know, I don't know. Why? Just because you've got Jeff Hardy versus Jeff Jarrett in a match doesn't mean that one has to be called Mr. Hardy or Mr. Jarrett. They were both called Jeff. So why can't we have it with Brooke? I mean, Brooke Hogan isn't even wrestling. She's just being an advisor person. I don't know, but anyway, after Gail Kim talks a lot of smack and goes for the Eat Defeat, Tessmacher gets it in a roll-up, and in her home state of Texas, Tessmacher wins the belt. Which I'm pleased to see, because Gail Kim's had it for too long. My other point is, why did they let Velvet only have it for a couple of days when they dropped it off her? Or was it I can't remember if it was a couple of days or a few weeks, but it was barely any time. But it's good to see Brooke get the push. She was a good developing talent back in WWE when she was part of the Extreme Expose, and then came in just as a secretary thing, came in as a wrestler, he's got the looks, he's actually got the skills as well, which is more than can be said for some of the talent that's currently in WWE, certainly. In my opinion. But pleased to see that. I will say that nice to give a nod there. Next up, Bully Ray versus Joseph Park, and I have to give full credit to Abyss / Joseph Park, because yes, we all know he's the same bloke. The way he's portraying his character of Joseph in the ring on this pay-per-view is, I'd say, pretty incredible. Because if you took somebody that didn't know about it and you said Abyss guy, if you showed them an Abyss match and you showed them that, and you say that they're the same guy, I think most people will go, wow. Because he really got the portrayal of the timid guy who wasn't sure what he was doing but gradually gaining in confidence come, and I'd say full credit to him there. Full credit to Bully Ray as well. He's really, despite my reservations at first, the way he's putting talent over and his work that he's done over the last year, I have to say full credit to him. Full credit to both guys. They put on a good, decent match, because it's a tough build to do, but the finish came with Joseph Park running underneath the ring, which then everybody thought, this is where the changeover happens, and Abyss appears, which did happen, but the thing is, Abyss was dressed completely differently, and it happened within about 20 seconds. So the fact of the matter is, that was a different person playing in Abyss. The fact also is, Abyss never turned his head towards the camera, so you never saw who it actually was. But then what happened is Abyss chokeslammed Bully Ray through a table that was already put up in the ring by Ray. There was a nice little spot there as well with Park giving Ray a kendo stick right to the bit of the head, and all I thought was boom, headshot. Just wow. It's another very good match. It kind of is a good showcase for in-ring chemistry, because both guys were doing a good job of it, I'll say that. Your penultimate match? Oh no, even before the penultimate match, Hogan returned again and said, I got one more surprise. Here's Christian Cage. Which, it was kind of revealed that he was there already thanks to Dixie, which I just kept it quiet and left it as a surprise, but I guess they couldn't because of the agreement, because I'm guessing this is something to do with the Flair deal. The fact that Christian would appear and do some kind of angle kind of thing. And he was just talking about how the fans are absolutely cool, but you can kind of tell that he was not... He wasn't dissatisfied with being there, but he wasn't made up with the fact that he'd returned. So, look into that what you will. And all he did was come out there to reveal the #1 moment in TNA history, which apparently was Sting returning / coming to TNA, depending how you look at it, in 2006. Because OK, he debuted in the weekly pay-per-views I'm aware of. And I have seen a few of them actually. But in time-wise, it hasn't really done a lot, to be quite honest. But we'll see anyway. Why Christian was there though, it kind of felt like really just stuck in for no reason, which hurt it a bit, but it was still good to see him there, I will say that. Penultimate match, we'll get to that now. The tag team title match between AJ and Kurt taking on the champs of Kazarian and Daniels. Very nice little match, I will say that. Probably not match for night. I'd still say match for night was Joe and Aries, but this was a very, very close second. Some great spots. Double German suplex from Angle onto Daniels and Kazarian. Then there was a double DDT of sorts as well from AJ. And there was a really sick spot with a shooting star press from AJ onto Daniels on the outside, which then led to Kurt Angle being in the ring alone with Kazarian, managing to get on the ankle lock, grapevining it, and Kazarian taps, and we got new champions. Not sure about the move, because I thought if this is still going to go with the storyline, it makes sense for Kazarian and Christopher Daniels to retain, possibly even through Surge appearing. I don't know, but how this will evolve in Impact over the next few weeks, we will see. And then finally, your World Heavyweight title match, Sting versus Rude. Now the way that they were billing this, with the fact that they revealed Sting earlier, it was kind of inching towards, they're giving it to Sting, aren't they? They had a good little match, I will say that. And the finish came when they were outside on the announcer's table and the Scorpion Deathlock was locked on. Rude tapped out. Sting was like, yes, I've won. But then Chief Referee Brian Hebner pointed out, he's not in the ring, so I can't count it. So then he pushes him off the table, and handily, right next to the table, is a 6-pack of beer. Yes. Finally they've brought this situation back after what happened with when Rude turned on Storm all those months and months ago. I'm sorry. This is happening very early in the morning / late night for me, so bear with me. Anyway, the finish came, the beer was in the ring, Rude went to hit Sting on the apron, Sting blocked it, hit Rude with a punch, then went to go for Rude with a beer bottle. The referee grabbed that and says, you're not doing that, and puts the beer on the outside. Meanwhile, Sting's getting in the ring, gets smacked for the beer bottle and knocked out, 3 count, and Rude retains. But after this, blood pouring from his forehead, I will say that. Or certainly some gash, whether the bottle hit him not right or whether he bladed, I'm not sure. It certainly didn't look like a manufactured cut. It looked like just proper cut. Then Sting went completely crazy on him and beat him up and did a suplex on the ring ramp. And then they got to a side of the stage and Sting did the Scorpion Death Drop off the ramp onto a table, except Sting got it wrong and smashed his head right on the edge of a concrete step. Because he then got up and you could see there was a gash about, I don't know, this wide, about a centimetre wide on the back. Right on the back of his skull, which was like, get that man to a doctor. Now. But overall, I have to give this pay-per-view an 8.5. Every match, even probably the weakest match, which was the tag team match with Garrett and Devon taking on the Robbies, was actually a good match. There was no match there that was absolutely atrocious or was poor. I'd say all of them were good. Because the purpose of the Crimson Storm thing, despite the fact that I think it's done too early, was to push Storm, and Storm is the guy that you have to push at the minute, because he deserves a push at the title, certainly, I will say that. And hopefully it happens sooner rather than later. But we'll see what goes on. But there we go, that's my review
match of the night. Certainly, I think it was the opening match between Joe and Aries. I don't think anything bettered it. Nearly matched by Angles and Styles versus Daniels and Kazarian, but that's my thoughts. Now I want to know your thoughts. You out there, YouTube universe. Yes, because if WWE can have a universe, then so can YouTube, apparently. So what were your guys' thoughts? What were your best matches? What was your overall mark out of 10 for the pay-per-view? Which bits did you like? Which bits didn't you like? You know, would you like to give dancing advice to Devon and Garrett Bischoff? I don't know. But leave a comment below. If you like what I'm doing here, like the video, or whatever. I don't know what this means. You can also subscribe up there, somewhere. It's probably up there, or is it up there? Or is it there? It's somewhere beyond my vision. But I'll try and reach through the barrier of YouTube, and it's not going. My hand isn't being cut off. It'd be weird if it actually got off in real life. If I was only in this space and it's like, oh no, I've only got half an arm. I don't know. But anyway, leave a subscribe for more videos like this and more gameplay of video games mixed in with wrestling news and views from Billy. The videos that I do, I just do in full screen just to be different, I guess. I don't know. Or because I'm lazy. Probably the latter. But anyway, I'll be catching you again, I don't know, might be next week for No Way Out. Might be for the next TNA pay-per-view, which is Destination X in July. But anyway, hope you guys have a good day, have a good week, have a good whenever you're watching this, and I will see you again soon.